Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. Here we go with the Saturday night episode. Yes. Myself and my main man G. What's good, G?
What's going on, bro?
Maintaining. How you been?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself?
Man, this Notre Dame USC got me in knots right now, but looks like we're gonna pull it off, man. We just huge defensive play to kind of probably save the game. So man, woo, this is a tough one. But yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
All right.
Good
Got a lot to be
Thanksgiving.
thankful for, huh?
Yeah, really good Thanksgiving.
That's good, man. That's good. For anybody in the chat, man, appreciate y'all popping in. We got a pretty good show in line for you this evening, and we are gonna get right to it. So I'm gonna give my little spiel, and then we're gonna get it rolling. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. You got a lot of people out here who want to tell you LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. People have a right to think what they think. You have a lot of people that will try to tell you that because of his longevity and all his tremendous accomplishments and accolades, that he's better than Michael Jordan. But the funny thing about that is he still doesn't have all the accolades that Michael Jordan has, but he is racking up statistics on statistics, and he knows what he's doing. That is why he's staying around this long, right? He knows he's not winning any more championships, but what? He's staying around because he says, well, if I build up the case on paper, if I build up the resume, then people will have to agree that I'm better than Michael Jordan. But no, only blind people might agree with that, right? That's really, it's just not the case if you watch the two play. And even still, if you're counting accolades, it's just not there. And then, if you get into all the other nonsense and machinations LeBron has done to try and manipulate his career and manufacture all of this stuff, he will never, ever be greater than Jordan. But that is what it is. But at the end of the day, this is where we come to the title of this topic. LeBron James is still chasing Michael Jordan. Remember, he said a couple of years ago, he's still chasing that ghost in Chicago, right? I want to say like last year, he said something along the lines. He slipped and said it about Jordan being the greatest of all time, right? So, what's up, Larry Jameson? I think you knew, man. I don't know if I've seen you here before, man. Hit the like and subscribe, brother. Thank you for checking in. Larry Jameson says LeBron James ain't better than Kobe Bryant. People's glossing over NBA players. Right. So that's funny. I've talked about this before. G's heard me say it. We've had this discussion. It's so interesting how you get a lot of people who will tell me specifically, well, you never played, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But we have player after player after player, guys who played at a high level, etc., who are going to tell you that Kobe is better than LeBron. We just heard Steph Marbury say it like last week on one of the, he was on Mark Jackson's podcast, and he made it clear that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, greatest of all time. And then he said the same thing Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal said, like, how we just glossing over Kobe. We just skipping past him for LeBron, right? So, no, Bron is also not better than Kareem. You are correct, Sneed. You are correct. Sabir Talib. Yo, what's going on, brother? Haven't seen you in a while. Salam. I would also add in Dynasty that the team has the same core players. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's the previous topic. I got you. Thank you. But yeah, so this whole business of LeBron supposedly being the GOAT or LeBron being the second best player of all time. But the fact is, even with all his statistical dominance, he's still chasing Michael Jordan. Why is he still chasing Michael? What made me think about this, right? LeBron James is he's second now. I think he's 3 games behind Michael Jordan in career 30-point scoring games, right? So after when he scores his next 4 30-point outings, he will have the most 30-point games in history. It'd be like 560 something. I can't remember the exact number. I thought I wrote it down. Pardon me. But the point is, so he's going to have another one, right? So you got these idiots now saying that, oh, he's the greatest scorer of all time. Yes, he has scored the most points in professional basketball history. Does that make him the greatest scorer of all time? Of course not. Edward Jackson says Steph Marbury was high on Vaseline. Plus, he felt some kind of way about LeBron again. Everybody has their rights to their own opinion. Edward, yes, years ago he ate the Vaseline. That was terrible. But the fact is, are we going to act like Steph Marbury doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to basketball? He's been an all-star. I believe he's been third-team All-NBA. He also played against LeBron. He played against Kobe. He played against Michael Jordan. The dude was in the league for, 14, 15 years, something like that? I think he knows a little bit about basketball. He's played against a lot of guys. I was getting there, Laker Nation. I was getting there. So Larry Jameson says it's like ever since LeBron James came into the league, they just talked about the stats with him. Kobe Bryant don't care about stats. I think you're right. So if you notice, that's one of the big things, right? LeBron's whole thing is he's like, okay, I got to reach this statistical plateau. I got to play this long. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's not with him. It hasn't been so much about becoming the greatest player that he could be. It hasn't been so much about him developing his game to a point. It's about him trying to build the paper man. That's the expression. Build the paper man so that he has the resume on paper so that when it comes down to it, people who never saw Jordan play, they could just compare stats blindly across eras and say, oh my God, how can we say that Jordan was better than LeBron, right? And as we know, LeBron has done everything, right? He's manipulated the media. We know that for a fact, not my opinion, right? He's tried to manipulate everything to create this image that he's better than Michael Jordan. He's trying to manipulate the stats. He knows he's not going to win a championship again, right? He knows that. But guess what? He figures if I get enough stats, then they can't argue with me. So but I could go for a while. But, G, man, your thoughts here on LeBron still chasing Michael Jordan, and we're going to get some more into that in a bit.
LeBron James is the best point forward to play the game.
I don't even know if I can agree with that, but go ahead.
But as far as the GOAT, Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. I shouldn't have had to watch 113 seasons of one to equal. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like, would you
No, you're
watch
right.
like 5 seasons of, Game of Thrones when you can just watch like the Wire, some shit? I don't know. It's
Yeah, I get
just terrible analogy, right? On my that's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But at the
I get
same
it.
time, it's like there's a lot of uh, winless seasons. He got too many
Mm-hmm.
winless seasons. When I say winless, I mean chip
No,
wise.
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Too many winless seasons. And where when you look at MJ's, everything's concentrated, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
can watch a MJ game, and you might have to watch 3 games to see this dude like do the things that Mike is doing in the game.
That's a
Just
great
from
point.
an
I like that.
intensity standpoint. And
Mm-hmm.
so the topic is LeBron James still chasing Michael Jordan. I think he has at least 15 more seasons, and you have to go back and watch every last season
Yeah.
to say that. And I think at some point it's gonna be you're gonna get fatigued. You're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna want to watch all these seasons to see him break all these records. It's good that he's doing it, but as Father Time start to creep in, it's not fun to watch no more, especially when forklift drivers are dunking on you at the big stage of the Olympics. So it's like at some point, bro, you gotta like just pass the legacy on. And unfortunately, I think he's
Mm-hmm.
waiting for Pricey before he's able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 cents.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Uh,
It's
that is
not, bro.
great. That's a great analogy. Check this out, G. That Laker Nation said. Laker Nation says Tyson Chandler's career 597 shooting percentage. So is he the most consistent shooter of all time? Because Bruce's argument was LeBron is the most consistent scorer of all time. That's a great freaking argument. So here's the question, right? Are we going with longevity or are we going with highest peak, right? Because Mike clearly had the highest peak, but even for his peak, right? It was still a long time. Mike's peak was what? Are we going to count? I guess just the 90s, like 91 through 98, 90 through 98. So let's think about this, right? Through that time period, you have two three-peats, right? You have what, 10 scoring titles, and during that time frame, your team never lost more than 2 games in a row. Never lost more than 2 games in a row. That is dominance. That's dominance. So LeBron, he's doing all this, and let me make it clear. Congrats, LeBron. You're playing at a level we've never seen for a guy this old who's been in the league this long with this many miles. Cool. But now everybody sees that you're padding stat. Stephen A said it on First Take the other day that LeBron is padding stat. Everybody sees it now. The same people that defended you all these years, they're coming out and they're talking about all the nonsense that you're doing. You're doing all this because you're chasing Michael Jordan and you're trying to get to a point that you just can't get to because you're not built the same way. You're not built the same way mentally. You don't have the same skill set. You're not built the same way physically. You just don't have it. You don't. And that's fine because that's why Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. And that's cool. But why can't LeBron be happy with the incredible career that he has? And great point, Steve. Jordan accomplished more than LeBron in less time. That's wild. That's wild. Here we go. Ilja Morris, good to see you, man. It's been a while. LeBron was in the game up 19 in the fourth quarter the other night. You know why? He's got to keep getting his stats. He's got it right. He's got to get the stats. Everybody knows what he's doing. Everybody knows what he's doing. This is what I don't get it. I don't get it, man. So when you look at it, watch. It's going to be a huge deal. The mainstream sports networks and shows, they're going to make it a big deal when LeBron passes Jordan for most 30-point scoring games. But it took him, they're going to nicely leave out that it took 7 more freaking seasons to do it. Jordan did all this in 15 years. LeBron is doing all this in 22 plus. Like, come on, man. Y'all can't be serious. I just don't understand this. Like, he is and will continue to chase Michael Jordan for as long as he's alive, right? Every time he does something, even after he retires, every time he freaking does something, it's going to be some comparison to Michael Jordan, and he's never going to catch him, right? When he becomes an owner, I guarantee you he's going to want to be a better owner than Michael Jordan. And it's not necessarily because he's ultra competitive, because we know he's not, right? It's not that. It's because he thinks that's going to help his fake GOAT case. Like, come on, man. I don't understand this. Somebody has to explain this to me. Somebody got to explain this to me. Real quick, if you're in the chat, I appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe. We really appreciate you being here. And it definitely helps the channel grow, helps us get further out into the algorithm and get more people following the show. And just it's good overall, right? Because we're here, we're trying to kick the truth, we're trying to entertain you all a little bit, and we're trying to educate you all a little bit. So just help us out and help us get to more people. Appreciate it. Bruce, so Bruce, you know what? We good. I'm gonna leave that. But see how I did that, G? See how I did that? Let's see. Yeah, okay, great point. Italian in Laguna Beach was good, man. Good to see you. Haven't seen you here before, man. Hit that button for me. While Jordan had 10 scoring titles, he was 9-time first team all defense in 9 of those years. Absolutely. So this is the crazy thing, right? And LeBron can never ever speak to this. Michael Jordan is clearly the best two-way player of all time. Like, there's no question about that. LeBron can't say that. Nobody can make that argument. Nobody. Do you know how hard it is? G knows how hard it is to be a lockdown defender and an elite scorer at the same time, game after game, year after year. Like, I can't even speak to that. I know, in my little bit of playing ball, like it's freaking, it takes a lot of energy to play defense. And then you turn around and you're the number one offensive option. Go ahead, bro.
And you playing 22 years. So at some point you have to take accountability that you might not be able to play at that intensity, at that level on both sides of the court. 82
Right.
games with low management right now.
Mm-hmm.
We low management as well, and still have that types of that type of longevity on the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
his defensive accolades should supersede his offensive accolades, but I don't think that's the case.
No, that's not the case at all. Sneed, you say Hakeem could be the best two-way player. I actually have Hakeem as the second best two-way player behind Michael Jordan. So that's my thought. But I mean, I'm not mad if you got Dream there. That's fine. Duncan's in there too. Kareem, yeah, those guys are right up there. But I think it's Mike, and then it's Mike, and then it's Dream. Definitely 1 and 2 at best best two-way players of all time. That's my opinion. But yeah, Steve says we all know LeBron is the GOAT because he got daddy daycare picture with his son on the court, debate over. And that's so funny. Think about all the freaking hoops this guy has to jump through to try and prove stuff to us that's not the case. And I've been saying this for years. How about you just dominate on the floor and let your play do the talking? That's all you have to do. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to send people from your agency after the media if they don't talk how you want. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to constantly rework rosters in the middle of the season and get all these guys. Like, all this stuff is not necessary. So I see why he's still chasing MJ. The answer is obvious, because he's not and never will be the GOAT. He never will be. Like that. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know, man. G, take over, man.
No, it's nothing. I mean, at this point, it's all preference, right? Like we know reason why he's still playing. It could be money though, right? Like he's still making millions and millions of dollars to play basketball and still, but being in a game you up 19 at this late in your career is crazy work. So that tips the hat in a certain direction that hey, he is still chasing MJ or he's chasing something, right? There's another accolade out there that he hasn't. Maybe his most minutes played in a career. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Parrish might be in trouble.
Yeah, he gonna have all that. Um. So, Logan, MJ is the GOAT, but it's an accomplishment to go to the finals as many years. It is an accomplishment to go to the finals as many years consecutively as LeBron. I agree. I do agree. But the fact is, and we got to be honest here, the moves he made weakened the East. So the East, when he was running through it, was one of the weakest Eastern conferences we ever saw. Like, that's just what it is, man. Nino says, see, this is what I don't like. The game wasn't played through two guards. Mike didn't have to work hard on defense. So one, do you think he only guarded two guards? Is that what we think? That's what we think? That's not the case. And it wasn't just like his assignment. Like, obviously that was his main thing, right? You guard your position back then. But at the same time, what we got to remember, Mike, up until D Wade broke it near his retirement, Mike was the all-time leader among guards in blocked shots. And Mike is still, third or fourth all time in steals. Like, so Michael Jordan, it's not like he was just, sitting around being lazy. Like, that dude was doing it all on defense, right? And if you go back and look, there was a lot of great matchups that he had to deal with at the two guard spot. One of the ones, I mean, think about it. He had to deal with Ray Allen, prime physical Ray Allen, young Ray Allen. He had to deal with Mitch Richmond, who was a monster. And you can actually look it up to hear what he had to say about Mitch Richmond.
Reggie.
He had to chase Reggie Miller around. Thank you, sir. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of really good two guards he had to deal with. So let's not act like, let's not get into this whole he was playing against plumbers nonsense. Rose Ball, you're another one that I haven't seen before. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you. All these gimmicks and steams to be the GOAT. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I get so frustrated. Like, he has to do all of this instead of just working and working and working and making his game as great as it could be. Like, I get it. Everybody's not the same, but look at Kobe, right? That's why people and players have the respect that they do for Kobe, because it wasn't about talking. It wasn't about trying to control the media. It wasn't about any of that. It was about we got up at 5:00 and we went to the gym and Kobe was already there and, soaked already through his first workout. Like, that's why people understand how great Kobe was, because he put the work in and the work showed up on the floor. So yeah, LeBron does a great job working on his body so that he can play this long. Does he do a great job working on his game? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, like, I don't understand how we are missing it. And let's not talk. We're not even gonna talk about how LeBron used his teammates terribly over the years, right? D Wade is supposed to be his man. He goes down to Miami. D Wade sits by him, helps him through the tough times, teaches him how to win. And then when he's ready to roll out, that's supposed to be his brother. He don't even tell him. He don't even tell him. D Wade found out the same time we found out that LeBron was going back to Cleveland. Wow. D Wade eventually ends up in Cleveland. LeBron tried to get him traded behind his back. Like, these are the type of moves that LeBron pulls, man. When you're not useful to him anymore, or he can't scapegoat you anymore, he just tries to get you up out of there, man. Like, come on, man. Bruce says he's picking LeBron number 1 in the all-time draft. I'm sure you would, Bruce. I wouldn't, but I'm sure you would, and it's all good. Let's see. There we go. Here we go. So Laker Nation says Bills are only NFL team to go to 4 straight Super Bowls. Why aren't they considered the greatest team in the NFL? Because they didn't win. Now, in fairness, we know LeBron has 4 championships. We know that. But he also has more finals losses, as I say all the time, than any other former MVP. He's got 6 finals losses. And it's so amazing to me how the powers that be just gloss over the losing. That I just can't get past. How do you just gloss over the losing? It makes no sense. Let's see. Kobe got 10 scoring titles. No. Kobe doesn't have 10 scoring titles, Larry Jameson. I believe Kobe only has 2 scoring titles, but he does have 9 first team all defense. Yeah, I think you got confused on the scoring titles with Mike. He's got the 10 scoring titles. Laker Nation. So 8 straight finals doesn't mean nothing when you lost 5 of them. Yeah, that's hard. Why LeBron got guys speaking with such disdain? Bruce, we've been through this time and time again, right? If LeBron could just accept his position that he's an all-time great player and stop trying to lie and fool everybody and use every method at his disposal to say that he's something he's not, nobody would have a problem with him. You know, nobody would have a problem. But he's going through all these machinations and it's ridiculous and nobody believes him. That's another one. Yep, there you go. He didn't even show up to Wade's Hall of Fame induction. Again, that's supposed to be his brother. That's supposed to be his boy. And he wasn't there. Like, we can't keep making excuses for this guy. Now, that's off the court stuff. I get it. But it's amazing that you're not supposed to use off the court stuff to denigrate LeBron, but they constantly use off the court stuff to try and build him up. Oh, he's a social justice warrior. Oh, he built a school. I'm not even going to get into the school thing, but like, we got to stop this. No, LeBron did not take my lunch money. He doesn't need my lunch money. He's filthy rich and I'm not. He absolutely doesn't need my lunch money. I'm not acting like that. What I'm doing is telling the truth. And as usual, people who love LeBron, they can't deal with that because they're so used to hearing the unadulterated hero worship and the idolatry when it comes to this dude. So that's
we have these back and forth interactions, and at the end of the day, you're still gonna have these young players who look at Paul George and call him their GOAT. At the end of the day, bro, like,
oh my
what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
what are we doing here? Are we fighting? You fighting a good fight, Bruce. You really are, bro. You fighting a good fight, bro. And
but we
sometimes
gotta tell the truth, brother.
as men, we were supposed to be logical, human beings, but oftentimes, people wear their feelings, their emotions dictate, their choices, and so you gotta let them have it, bro. You just gotta let them have it.
I mean, you're right, brother. You're right. I'm just saying, like, it's amazing to me because realistically, he really is still chasing Michael Jordan, and he's never gonna catch him. But you have so many people trying so hard to convince you of something that's not true. What was it Eddie Murphy in the stand-up routine way back in the 80s said, who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Was that Eddie Murphy? I can't remember, but it was one of these cats back then, and that was the line, right? So it's like, that's what LeBron is telling us. Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Well, I'm gonna believe my eyes. I'm gonna believe what you have shown me for the last 22 years of your NBA career. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating, but I guarantee you, just wait. It'll probably take maybe about a month or so, and then he's going to pass Michael Jordan for most 30-point games ever scored, and we're going to have to hear about it, and they're going to conveniently leave out the fact that he played 7 more freaking years, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. That's a great point, Larry Jameson. LeBron has the most turnovers in history. and the most missed shots in history. But no one ever talks about that, right? But they're quick to bring up all the missed shots with Kobe. Interesting how that works, isn't it? Right? That's interesting how that works. See what I'm talking about? Like, it's just, I don't know.
How
I
many
don't
years
know.
of turnovers you think? Like if you put it on footage, like how many years of turnovers do you think? That's at least a year
Yeah, like
of
a full season, just the turnovers. I think
turnover
so.
highlights.
Yeah.
Traveling, I mean, just I digress.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do some research and I'm gonna package that up. That'll be my contribution.
Right. Isn't that crazy Italian? Yeah. He's out there 3 a.m. lift. So there was a story and he called his trainer and I think he said it's like 2 a.m, 2, 3 a.m. He calls the trainer and he's like, hey, I need you to, come work out with me or whatever. All right, cool. So the guy works out with Kobe for a couple hours. Then the guy says he goes back home and goes to sleep and he comes back in the gym like 9 or 10 in the morning and Kobe's still there. So he's like, hey, Kobe, what time did you get back? Kobe's like, what? Like, hey, what time did you come back? He's like, oh, I never left. I wanted to make 1,000 jump shots before I left the gym. Like, I get it. Everybody's not wired the same, but for LeBron, who is supposed to be this superhuman cyborg or whatever, for all that superhuman cyborgness and all of that stuff, why did he not use all of that to make his game better? That's the question. That's the question. But yet, with all of that, they're still trying to convince us that he's not chasing Jordan or that he caught Jordan and that he's better than Kobe. And I'm like, none of that adds up. If you just watch these guys play, none of it adds up. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But you ready to open up these phone lines, man?
Yes, sir.
All right. See, I told you I wasn't going to go too far down the rabbit hole. I got this. All right, man. I tried to control it. Is that better? Phone number is 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. We're also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So let's go ahead. If you have some pushback to me, I'm sure there's some people who do in the chat, Bruce. Go ahead, give us a call. Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on this. All right, got my man Laker Nation. Laker Nation, what's good, brother?
Hey, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
I had to call you again.
It's all good.
What's good, y'all? What's up, Gino?
You.
All right. Let me go say my point before these LeBron fans come in here and start prying up your line.
All right.
The only thing I'm going to say is if they go and really deeply research Jordan, they will understand why 99% of the basketball community named him the GOAT. And they're and 99% of the basketball community aren't even fans of that man. I couldn't stand him when I was little because I was a Laker fan. But look, he has. I'm not even going to run down all his accomplishments. It's not a secret.
Right.
Most accomplishments on offense, most accomplishments on defense, and he has the stats to back it up. Even if you break down the analytics, he is first in everything. Like, this call would take too long if I break it down. But everybody's talking analytics. He is number one in every analytical stat category for his career. Plus minus, he's number one. Regular season and playoffs. Playoffs, his numbers go up. There is a reason. There's a reason why they put him over Kareem, and Kareem is the most accomplished athlete in the league. The reason why he's ahead of him. It's not even close. Like, these LeBron fans, I don't listen to them because they speak it. Not all their takes is on emotion. Like, none of it is factually driven. Like, if they literally deep down took the time, like you guys that run your podcast, take your time and do the research, you will understand why he's the GOAT. Because he has the accolades and the stats to back it up. And they're there. You just got to go research it. They're not willing to research it. They just want to say, oh, they want to run, they want to throw they numbskull idiotic points out there and try to force you to believe what they say. When the eye test alone, he's nowhere close. the accolades alone, he's behind. Stats that matter, he's behind. Stats per their position. LeBron's not even top in his position in all stat categories.
I agree.
So Jordan has him beat there on stats per position. Analytical stats for LeBron is worse than Russell Westbrook. But y'all can look it up. And that's the man that y'all saying that, you know, Westbrook's analytical stats are better than LeBron.
That's scary. Is that right?
Y'all need to look it up.
Is that right? That's scary if that's the case.
That is correct.
Wow.
Like, Russell Westbrook plus and minus is better than LeBron.
Wow.
And they play the same way. Like if you really deep dive and look at and really with a fine-tuned comb, you know, look up, do the research on these players, you will know who's like what Jordan did was out of this world crazy.
Yeah.
Like I did it. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all of it because it will take up the rest of your show because there's a lot. I'm going to let y'all, like, even though I know these LeBron fans aren't going to do it because, you know, they don't want to see the fruit, you know, let them digress and have their king. Let them have it, you know, let them sleep at night. But if they really look into LeBron with a fine-tuned comb compared to Jordan, it's not even close. And he's played 8 more seasons than him, and nowhere close. Like it's scary.
So my question for you is this, and then I'll let you go. How much of that do you think is the media conditioning they've been getting all these years? How much of that?
99% of it.
Okay.
I think they're not even if you talk to. I'm not speaking on the young fans because they don't know no better. They're naive.
Right.
You're supposed to like the best player in your, you know, who do you like in your era. Like 30-year-olds is Kobe. 20-year-olds and on it's LeBron. You know, he's not even though Curry done did way more than the league than him. But it's not hate, it's just the truth. Like if I'm a Laker fan and if I can say that, yeah, okay, Jordan is the GOAT when Magic's my guy, and I can honestly tell you that Jordan was 100 times better than Magic. That tells you that I'm a non-biased person. If LeBron actually did ask Jordan, I will give him this flow. But he's nowhere. When I really deep down dove into it, he's nowhere close, dog. It's scary how big the gap is. But
the gap is huge. There's no question about that.
It's like a distance from here to the next solar system in the gap in the universe. That's how big the gap is. It's like a huge black hole in between.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. But I mean, they feel how they feel. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Real quick, Sneed says he learned to appreciate Wilt. He is decades before his time. Greatness is greatness. You have to study the game. History is rich. Explains and tells the story of how we got here. Absolutely. Yeah, Wilt was a machine, man. Wilt was an absolute machine. And the people that came before us, if they're basketball fans, they'll tell you that we've never seen anything like Wilt. And I wish we could have seen Wilt like in the 80s and 90s in the best big man era, but that is what it is. But yeah, I appreciate go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, my dad when I was growing up, and you know how they do when a player is coming up and they're saying like, oh, he's the best. My dad was like, fuck Jordan, he ain't got shit on him. And he watched Wilt play.
Right.
God rest, and he's seen his whole career, and he took it to his grave that Wilt's the best player ever. I'm not gonna argue with him because I never seen Wilt play. All I got is the numbers, and I have no footage to back it up.
Right.
At least with Jordan, you got the footage. But my dad said, like, Wilt could do it all.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But it is factually proven that They changed the rules to stop Wilt
That's true.
because he was that dominant in his era.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't allow him. It was a technical foul if he dunked the ball, which I think is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he got that. He progressed that fadeaway and now hook shot.
Right. Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let him dunk, which I thought was ridiculous.
Yep.
But I'm gonna let Bruce call because I know Bruce got something.
I know
Bruce got something to say because we all hating on LeBron. We all LeBron haters. So I'm gonna let him get in and let you have that argument with him.
Oh, it's not gonna be an argument, man. Bruce, he got a right to say what he's gonna say. But yeah, I look forward to hearing him.
Love the show, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
I'm ready for this last topic. I don't know what you meant by that, but I'm ready with that last topic.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, nothing too crazy. We're just gonna talk about that. The Bears firing this guy, first coach in Bears history to get fired during the season.
Oh, he deserved to get fired. How the hell? I'm not gonna get into that because
right.
He deserved to get fired. Man, we saw that on Thanksgiving. That was ridiculous.
No doubt. But thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
All
right, Bruce. All right, come on, man. I know you're waiting to call and say something ridiculous, so let's hear it. In the meantime, anybody else who wants to call and chime in on this, do you believe? First of all, do you think I'm wrong or right in terms of saying that LeBron is still chasing Jordan? Because obviously I think he is, but there are people who think that he's already surpassed him and that he's not chasing him anymore. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Yeah. Anybody wants to call in? Definitely waiting to hear on that. Here we go. All right, Bruce, let's get it, man. Go ahead.
Why I gotta be ridiculous, man?
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say, man. I know you about to say something crazy. Go ahead.
I'm saying something crazy. You already know how I feel. Jordan is the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT. Let me ask you this though, Bruce. What was wrong with Jordan? What's wrong with that?
You was breaking up. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, what is wrong with LeBron chasing Jordan? What is wrong with it? What's wrong with it? What's the problem?
Oh, I have no problem with chasing Jordan. My thing is that we all know that he's chasing Jordan, but so many people are going to try to tell you that he's already surpassed him. And LeBron is doing all this and he's running all this campaign to try and prove to you that he's something he's not, as if we can't see what's going on and what he's doing. So there's nothing wrong with him chasing him, right? Theoretically, that's competition. But my problem is he's not chasing him the right way by becoming the best player he can be. He's chasing him and trying to surpass him by creating the paper, by creating the paper man, like I was saying earlier. That's my problem.
So basically, the problem, you basically have a problem with the way that he's abusing his power.
If that's what you want to call it.
That's what it's basically about. But I understand. I truly believe LeBron clowned himself out a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I respect him. I give him his flowers, even though I don't like some things about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like how he did Darvin Ham. I don't like how he did David Black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how he used to try to stand up and like coach some of the game while the coaches was walking the line. So I don't like some things about it, but he's not perfect. Just like Jordan, not perfect.
Right.
It go both ways.
Right.
Like Jordan, like the punches is his punch white boys in the eye in practice and stuff like that.
So
understand what I'm saying?
So think about how many fights, like when you listen to people who cover teams, like beat writers,
right.
They talk about fights that happen between teammates all the time. Why do we make it such a big deal that Jordan got in a fight with a teammate in practice? I know why, but I want to hear what you got to say about it.
I'm just saying, basically what I'm saying, ain't nobody perfect. Well, he punched Steve Kerr in the eye. Come on now, he when that did it to Charles Oakley or Xavier McDaniel, you do somebody. You picking and choosing. You're a bully. Mike was a bully. That was his way of motivating his team. He's a bully. Everybody know that watching the last thing. Hey, we accept that shit. That's some shit I don't like about Mike. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like some stuff that I don't like about LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Mike, they on the team bus or the team airplane. He tell the chef, Horace Grant, don't eat because he ain't get enough rebounds in the game. Come on, man. on the last dance.
I'm curious to
Remember that?
know if that really went down that way, because Horace Grant said it didn't really go down that way. So I'm curious.
Well, it was on the last dance. I'm going off that. So
I got you. I'm not
it
saying
go
it did
both
or
ways,
didn't.
man. With that, but I don't see nothing wrong with LeBron. Why not chase greatness? He went up, coming up like everybody else in the '90s. Everybody wanted to be Mike. So what's wrong with it? What's wrong with him chasing LeBron? I mean, chasing Mike.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't have any problem
But
with
how
it.
y'all talking? Y'all got it's a lot of disdain and hate. Like it's a little personal. Like
Let's not
give him
use
his
the word
flowers.
hate. Let's not use the
I ain't
word
hear.
hate.
Listen. I ain't hearing that one of y'all give him his flowers.
You didn't
Give
listen.
him his flowers.
You didn't listen. I said he's had an all-time great career. See, here's the problem with LeBron fans, right? Real talk. If you don't worship LeBron, you haven't given him his flowers. If you don't get on your knees and blah blah blah, then you haven't given LeBron his flowers. It's never enough to say he's had an all-time great career. It's never enough to say he's an all-time great player.
Okay.
No, but you don't have to say that, because I gave the dude his credit for the things that he's done, but that's not enough for you, because you're saying I didn't hear any credit for LeBron. Whoa, that's not true.
I heard more hate than love, though, especially from you, Bruce.
Well, first of all, I don't know that dude, so I don't hate him. Number one, do you love him?
I mean, you don't hate him. Now I'm just saying, I'm just speaking like we speaking in urban terms. You hate. I know you're not hating because you don't know him, but it's like
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, he really rubbed you the wrong way somehow, some way. And we spoke about this plenty of times, but he really got his hooks in you about how you feel about him. Like you standing on it. Like damn.
I don't like the way he moves, and I don't like the way he's got a lot of people moving. I'll say that.
Okay, you talk about in the basketball world or in the business world or in life?
In the basketball world and in life, because you got people. For instance, you ever watch the Dreamers Pro Show on YouTube?
Who show?
It's called the Dreamers Pro Show. He talks a lot of basketball.
Yeah. But now I ain't seen that one, but with him. So what happened?
So basically, and he does a lot of content, a lot of NBA content. And at one point, like, he was talking about LeBron, and some guy didn't like it, and the dude literally gave him death threats, talking about, if you come out here, it's on site, and I'm gonna do this and do that. And I'm like, what?
Same thing with Jordan before.
I've never heard anything like that when it comes to Jordan.
I seen it firsthand.
Okay.
Niggas arguing about Mike, and really got into it about Michael Jordan. Like really got emotional about it, and get ready to throw hands. We had to come between them. Family shit, get the arguing at the table. Like really got pumped up about that shit. But it happened. So I understand what you're saying. Go ahead, Bruce. Finish.
No, that was it. That was it.
Okay. But I don't see nothing wrong with LeBron chasing Jordan. It's cool.
I don't either.
You want to chase greatness. Chase. If you look up to him, he basically showing no respect. But you see how Mike be doing LeBron though. Down. They rarely talk. You feel what I'm saying?
But why does sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What would you ask? What you get ready to ask me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why does Jordan have to talk to LeBron when LeBron and his people literally have an entire generation denigrating Michael Jordan and his generation to try and prop LeBron up? I wouldn't talk to him either.
No, because LeBron spoke up about him like they don't see like he wish they could be closer, and it's not like that. Like y'all really feel some type of way about that. Like he not close as he thought, because he's wrong. He feels though like him and Mike should be, you know what I mean, buddy. But you know Mike is.
No.
You know Mike an evil man. You know Mike.
LeBron thinks that.
Mike not good. You know Mike not good with relationships. You know Mike get all in his feelings sometimes. He cut Charles Barkley off because Barkley said he was a horrible owner.
He didn't have a problem with Kobe.
Who ain't had a problem with Kobe?
Mike.
Yeah, because he was Kobe the fake Mike. He the false Mike. He's Mike duplicate. But I'm talking about how he cut Barkley off. I'm ready to get off the phone. But he cut Barkley off. Long time friend.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley speak his mind. Journalist.
That's a fact.
He critiqued Mike about how he running the Charlotte
fairly
with Bobcat. Yes. And he cut Barkley off about that because he spoke about it.
I don't agree with that either. You're right though. You're right on that one. I don't agree with it.
Come on, Mike that type nigga. Like you can't say you're above reproach. Like motherfucker can't say nothing about you.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying that's one thing I don't like about Mike. That's one of the things I don't like about him. But he's Mike. But as far as like I don't see nothing wrong with LeBron chasing Mike. So I'm done about it.
All right, no doubt, man. I appreciate the call, brother.
All right, brother.
All right, man. All right. Steve, you funny, man. Oh, man. Oh, that's a great point. Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Grown man really out there trying to fight for LeBron. Grown man with 2 replaced hips was really going to get in a fight with young professional athletes over LeBron. That is absurd. That is true. That's wild. All right, y'all. Great topic. Let's go ahead and get to the last one. Let's go ahead and finish this off. Yeah. He cut off Perk, Laker Nation, but Perk started. If you notice, he started. He's back on the company line, so I guess they're okay again. I guess those. Yes, I guess they're okay again. So I'm gonna leave it there.